Hey everyone, so I'm going to talk about a TV map update for Week 9 of the 2025 NFL season. So let's go talk about it. So, we have Thursday Night Football, Baltimore at Miami on Amazon. Obviously that doesn't change. Obviously the Sunday Monday night will not change. But the CBS early window, that has changed. In Duluth, Minnesota, they were slated to show Chicago at Cincinnati. Not all of Minnesota was, but a good bit of Minnesota was slated to show. Most of Minnesota, except if it was like South Dakota, North Dakota, or left with one of those stations, or like an Iowa station. It was going to show Chicago at Cincinnati due to Minnesota and Detroit and Green Bay being on the single window channel box, and then so they would get the doubleheader CBS one, in which was Chicago at Cincinnati. However, Youth Minnesota's gone in front of the FC North viewing area, and however, Youth Minnesota's decided to go out of that and show Indianapolis at Pittsburgh, the featured early window game. They decided to go against that and show that. And then Yakima and Kennewick, Washington. They were slated to show San Francisco at New York Giants. And that was for, they were showing San Francisco at New York Giants because of the NFC West viewing area. They are showing that because it's an NFC West game. It was in kind of like it was in like an NFC West area territory. Like Washington is Seattle base. They thought they might want to see San Francisco for the NFC for the NFC West viewing area, but they decided to go against that and switched to Indianapolis at Pittsburgh, the featured game. Then Fox single window, Chicago, Illinois. Chicago, Illinois, actually, on the Fox single window, they actually decided to go against having New Orleans LA Rams in the late window. Because usually when you have a game in the early window on a channel that has a doubleheader, usually you have a late window game on the single window channel. Usually that's what happens. And usually that happens so that you, for one, you watch your local game, and two, you some people. So one, and which most people will, but also if people want to watch the single window game on Fox, they can. Without it over, so. But I mean, they can without it doesn't hurt Fox, And that's the single window channel. And we have. They were supposed to show New Orleans at LA Rams. Since it was an NFC area. However, they have went against that, and they decided to show Minnesota Detroit. And that's kind of a no-brainer though in that one because it's kind of a no-brainer going with the featured game for the Fox single window because it is, if they want to see NFC North viewing area, you have Minnesota, Detroit, you have Carolina at Green Bay, and they actually decided with the featured one, Minnesota, Detroit, the featured national game. So I don't blame them. Um, you know, so yeah. Oh. Yeah, I don't really blame them. But yeah, one went with the feature team. And I know why they did, because it's more of interest to Chicago Bears fan base. Minnesota, Detroit, or Carolina, Green Bay would. But Minnesota, Detroit would be the optimal most, because it's two in the senior, not just one. But even having Green Bay would be. I've seen our Junior, so I didn't see either or. And then Wichita, Kansas was supposed to show Minnesota, Detroit. They have decided to go with Denver at Houston, and that's no super surprise for the AFC West viewing versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The AFC teams, two AFC teams. That's no surprise there. And then in the single window on Fox, Eugene and Bend, Oregon also decided to show Denver at Houston. Eugene, Oregon, right there, you see it, right? And then Bend, Oregon has decided to show Detroit at Houston as well. So yeah. So Eugene and Bend, Oregon, instead of Minnesota, Detroit, they're going to show Denver at Houston in the early window, instead of showing the feature game, Minnesota, Detroit. Eugene, Oregon, I'm wondering if somebody went for Denver and Houston. And to college in Eugene, I believe the Eugene is the Oregon Ducks. So I wonder if Bo Nix, he was an Oregon Ducks player from college. Yeah. And then Wichita, Kansas was Bend, Oregon. Maybe someone like another Oregon team played there, or maybe it's just because of Bo Nix. I'm not for sure. Could be. But Wichita, Kansas makes sense because it's Kansas City Chiefs fan base area, and they're going to show Denver, Houston because of that. So there you have it. There's an update for the Fox, the CBS early and Fox single for Week 9 team